coverage in gun violence. 19 alleged gang members were busted in connection with what prosecutors called senseless shootings. Some of those shootings were recorded on video. Here's Eyewitness News reporter NJ Burkett.
One gunman blasts his way down the street. Another sprays a crowded intersection with bullets. Brazen shootings in broad daylight that terrorized entire neighborhoods in Brooklyn. Nearly 24 alleged gang members have been indicted. Brooklyn DA Eric Gonzalez.
This is an important case for the people of Brooklyn, making sure that we're holding accountable these 19 individuals for their conduct and for the harm they've caused in our city and in our beloved Brooklyn.
Prosecutors say some of the victims were rival gang members. Others, innocent bystanders caught in the crossfire or struck with stray bullets. A wave of gang violence for criminal control of public housing complexes in Bedford-Stuyvesant and Crown Heights. What's known in gang parlance as spinning.
Shooting for the sake of showing dominance of one gang over another gang is endangering the lives of New Yorkers. We see children are being shot. We saw an innocent storekeeper almost lose their life.
It all comes as violent crime is rising in New York. The NYPD's commissioner believes that it's being driven by a relatively small number of gang members. These arrests are part of a strategy to target them and get them off the streets. Some of the suspects are as young as 16. Investigators seized cell phones, used court-ordered wiretaps, surveillance video, and DNA.
These individuals lived in our Brooklyn neighborhoods. These are the same individuals that showed no remorse as they relentlessly fired guns are now behind bars.
Of this made smoother than your smoothest criminal. Shamo, about that money, what we get into. Shamo, about that money, get residuals. Shamo.
Yes. Yes, 2 times. I know the vibes. We go. Ooh la la, ah we. She go. Ooh la la, ah we. We go. Ooh la la, ah we. They go. Ooh la la, ah we. Hey. Ooh la la, ah we. Hey. Ooh la la, ah we. Ooh la la, ah we. Ooh la la. Looking for AMs like I lost a friend. Hop out of the bed like where the bread. What it do, YouTube? You now tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted, we authentic, that feeling. Back up in here one more again. If it's your first time, then come on in. Don't make it your last. Over here, we deal sports, hip-hop, motivation, interviews, and Popovisms 101. If that sounds like something you can rock with, then kindly hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the notification bell so when I upload the videos, you get alerted. And if it's not your first time, then of course we appreciate you. You know how we do. You know how we start the show. Tony. There was no other way. We in the end game now. And we is in the end game. We in the end game because police ran down on them like they wasn't playing. Y'all see the little, you know what I mean, the clip that I put in before the intro. So today, the police ran down in Brooklyn, 18 arrested. Another one of those gang swoop down on everybody. All of y'all into the back of the paddy wagon. All of y'all are going to be charged with tent murder in the first, tent murder in the second, and you know what it is. Whoop, whoop, whoop-dee. She fell in love with it. Yeah, that part. Yeah. And it's like, we still not getting it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Tony, there was no other way. We in the end game? Like, what's the end game, folks? And, you know, there's going to be a lot of answers to that question. You know what I mean? Depending on what perspective and what side of the, you know, the court you looking at it from. What kind of view you got of the situation. Well, I'm going to give you mine. One, streets don't love nobody. 2, it's a dead-end street. You know what I mean? And it's like you following the wrong people. You know what I mean? You doing too much. You doing nothing at the same time of doing too much. and you just causing destruction, confusion, and the ball of confusion. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, the Temptations, the ball of confusion. Bro, I don't understand why we see this thing happen over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Yeah, like, it's not an edit. Over and over and over before we get it. It's like, you go busting your head against the wall. Like, stop fucking around and be a man. That's Nas' intro to Illmatic. And then there's so many lines on Machiavelli. Don't go busting your head against the wall. That's what the white man wants you to do. Yeah. White Man's World, Tupac, Machiavelli. And there's so many lines. Like Hov said, if I would have grew up to be a doctor, my nephews would grow up to be the same. Same. But since I grew up in the game and my influence is the same and my therapy is music, they ask of you with shame. Shame. Like on Sweet, on American Gangster. And it's like Nas said, put on them shoes, tried them, wore them. The shoes didn't fit, so why I couldn't sport them. And I'm quoting all these lines to say, like, unfortunately, people follow what they see. They monkey see, monkey do with a lot of things. I mean, not only in the street level, but social media, challenges, and things of that nature. But it's all to a dead end. You know what I mean? Not only are you destroying other people's lives by doing what you're doing, being involved in the fuckery that is the gang shit, but there's really no way for you to hide. You know what I mean? Like, I seen a video, I told y'all, I'm in these YouTube streets, and I'm in these YouTube alleyways. And on this channel, the brother was making a lot of sense. He was saying, you know, at least a few years ago, obviously before the inception of the New World Order, the Matrix, social media, he was saying police had to do a lot of work to prove that you was even involved in any type of mafia or gang-related activity. They had to actually come out, hide, undercovers, take pictures, catch you coming out the bar, going into the bar, shaking hands, passing off a briefcase, getting a brown bag back, etc., in order to build a case against you. But because now we on social media and everything it's all for sale, like 50 Cent, it's all for sale. Your whole life is for sale. And you selling it for dirt cheap. And we all tuned in, like with the popcorn to check it out. But unfortunately, it's a movie that, you know what I mean? Like, we know how it ends. Still I play. The star rolling, hold Vito's way. It's just a life. Solemnly swear. Change my approach. Stop shaving coke. Stay away from hoes. You know, that part? Yeah, it's so many songs that I can quote. You know what I mean? Over here, we deal sports, hip-hop. Yeah, that part. And I'm saying this to make this point. You know what I mean? I'll bring it together in a second. We doing the most without doing nothing. And again, you putting it all on social media for sale. Police don't even got to do that much work no more. They can just watch, wait, set the trap. I set the booby trap just to see dude react. And now you dudes can't leave. You open the door, God, I'm at you annually. And that's what they doing. They sitting back, having coffee. They don't got to come out in the streets no more. They don't got to hide behind cars, get risked of being picked off and undercover and all that. Nah, they sit back, have their coffee. That's what this is, by the way. That's the, you know what I mean? The little Oreo flavor. They get their donuts from Dunkin'. They sit back right in the cubicle with air conditioner on, smoking a cigarette, looking at the profiles from what they call them? Burner profiles. Liking your shit, commenting on your shit, seeing who you follow, seeing the pictures you like. And then they swoop down when they ready and they got you. And as far as New York, I'm not sure as the other places as far as the courts being back open, but they are saying in the clip that I seen on the news, they're like, yeah, courts is open and back. They will be operating at full capacity. And then now they can start prosecuting some of these dudes and getting them off the streets. And two of the people that they got, was one of them, you know, I guess was involved or was the driver for killing that little boy, man. And it's like, again, we never, ever, 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 ever should get used to or normalize or get desensitized to babies dying in the street at the hands of gang violence, street violence, dumb shit. We never should get never should get used to that. So they got him, and they're gonna get their day in court, and I'm sure they're gonna be prosecuted to the full extent of the law, as they should be. You know what I mean? And me and my man was talking. You know what I mean? We ain't no angels. We know what it's like to lose, to feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail. I definitely know what it's like, and the person I was talking to does as well. But he was like, you know, Lee, when they do these swoops and all that, you know, some of these kids be innocent. I think one of the youngest people, the indictments, you know, these is pre-indicted. They already got indicted. You know what I mean? So it's not like they go and get indicted now. They swoop in after the indictment is done, and then they come get you. He was like, you know, a lot of the kids get caught up. They're not really, you know, high level, you know, part of the organization, if you will, if you even call it an organization. Because organization, you need to be in order. You need to have some organized, you know what I mean? You need to be organized. Like organized, like on Rick Ross' album, he like, we need to get organized. Organized. So that when the pig get to jiving with you, you pull out your, blow him away, and that's how you define, you know what I mean? Like that part, it's one of my favorite Rick Ross albums too, by the way, Teflon Don, you know what I mean? But he like some of these kids they're just down. They're not even really with the fuck shit. They just hanging on the block with the people that's with the shits. And I'm like, yeah, they casualty of the war, of the situation, of the war on gangs. You know what I mean? Just like that little baby was a casualty of some gang shit. So, you know, you're 16, you're 15. I was doing crime at that age. And I did my time for it. They caught me, and you go to jail for doing what you're doing. And I want to say this, like, again, you doing what you're doing, and then you get locked, and it's like now you got the sad face, sticker face. And then the people that you coming behind, like the real gang, the people that's getting up on people and making sure the right man bleed and not shooting in the crowd and being an accident murderer. Yeah, the real killers that did time and killed people intentionally, purposely, with a purpose, whether it's right or wrong or not. I'm not judging that part. I'm just saying they wasn't shooting into a crowd and just being reckless with it. They was doing what they was doing. They got who they wanted to get. It is what it is. I was looking at YouTube the other day, and shout outs to MECCA Audio. You know what I mean? That's the channel on YouTube, MECCA Audio channel, aka the brother Unique. And he just came home. If y'all not familiar with him, you know what I mean? Harlem brother. You know what I mean? Did 27 years in the feds and all that. And he had a panel. I didn't catch the live when it first started because somebody sent me a notification like, yo, check out, you know what I mean, their channel now. And I caught the end of it. But to my chagrin, he got Lou on there, you know what I mean? Welcome home, Lou. And I already, you know, welcomed him home in the other video I did. He was on there. KEVINCHILES was on there, you know what I mean? And it was another brother who I don't know his name. And then Faris. And I mean, if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, then it's fine. You know what I mean? For the people that know, then you know. You know what I mean? He was on the phone calling in. And they was having a great conversation, like conversation that needed to be had. You know what I mean? And again, so you got brothers like who I just mentioned that was knee deep out here in these streets, doing what they was doing, whether right or wrong. Got caught, did time, hard time, long time, like years. Like you come back and you a whole grown man and they still was locked up. You know what I mean? And they home now. You know what I mean? And a lot of people was coming home. But now the message is, you know, he was asking the panel, Unique that is, like I said, MECCA Audio, that's his platform. And what he do is, you know, he talked to the youth. He talked to the people that's involved in the shit that I'm talking about now. People that's out there bugging out with no sense of direction, not really taking into account the consequences that could be of this, you know, of their circumstances. So he talked to the youth, and he had people come on and, you know, things of that nature. So yesterday he had, like I said, that was like an all-star cast, you know what I mean, for people that's been in the streets, and if you know, you know. So at the end, when it was winding down, really, he was like, so, you know, what do you take out of, you know, doing the time and doing the crimes that you did and obviously going away and doing the time? And Lou, you know what I mean, he pretty much was saying, you know, obviously he wished things was different, and he wished he would have took a different route. He wished he would have got money legally instead of illegally, you know what I mean, instead of wasting time. He wished he would have been, you know, smart enough, wise enough to take a different route. And you hear most real niggas, you know what I mean, in that category, but he's definitely one of them. You know what I mean? You hear them when they come home after doing all that time, like, yo, shit wasn't worth it. I missed out on my kids. I missed out on, you know what I mean, being with a woman. You know what I mean? Doing things differently. You know what I mean? Having a different mindset. Having a different purpose. Fulfilling that purpose. They come home, time is past now. You older, whole old man now. You know what I mean? And it is what it is because time stops for nobody. But the point is, these are the people who I mentioned, you know, and y'all know who Kevin Chiles is. Obviously got the Don Diva. He wrote a book, The Crack Era, which I haven't read yet. My brother said the book is phenomenal. He listened to the audio, and I'll probably listen to the audio too, as opposed to reading it. But Unique, MECCA Audio, you know what I mean? He got a book out, of Roaring Harlem, you know what I mean? Dick, you know, talking about his life and what led him to going to the feds for 27 years, et cetera, et cetera. So now they, you know, they capitalizing as well as pushing the word to the right for these knuckleheads that's just got swooped up. And the other knucklehead, what's his name? A rapper dude. He just got caught up in the racketeering as well. Damn it, man. Unscripted, uncut, authentic. That feeling. YFN Lucci. You know what I mean? Rapper. You know what I mean? And I'm not really familiar with him. And I know I say that a lot on this channel with some of these people that get caught up. I just like a certain type of rap, you know what I mean? Or hip hop. Everything is not for me, so I just don't indulge. Again, if it come on in the car, I hear it. I may know the song, but I'm not really familiar with his music. Even the song that they was like one of his most famous songs is with the Amigos. Now I know who the Amigos is, you know what I mean, but not really familiar with who he is. But he just got bagged up.
A famous musical artist, Yfn Lucci.
Now, the indictment says that Lucci's an associate of the Bloods gang, and Channel 2 investigative reporter Mark Winnie had exclusive access to major players in the case.
There's been a huge spike in violent crime. The first thing we had to do was recognize that there is an absolute gang problem in this county, and that we were going to take a strong stance against that.
Fulton County District Attorney Fonnie Willis says her team used a YouTube music video entitled Shine On, quote, which includes lyrics promoting criminal gang activity in a massive Rico or racketeering indictment to shine a light on the alleged gang associations of two of the performers in the video, music megastar YFN Lucci, real name Rayshawn Bennett, and Justin Ushry, aka Bloody J, two of a dozen defendants in the case, which involves a variety of crimes.
You took two of your top homicide people and gang expert and put them on this case?
Yes, sir.
For how long?
We've been working this case for approximately 6 months.
Of the national gang, criminal street gang Bloods, there's at least 4 subsets involved in this particular indictment and investigation.
Is YFN Lucci a member or an associate of any criminal street gang?
No, he's not a gang member. What he is an internationally recognized musical artist that is a triple platinum winner.
Lucci's lawyer, Drew Findling, added,
his First Amendment right to musically express himself is no different than the famous rock song, I Shot the Sheriff. It's not criminal activity.
Justin Ushry said by phone he's not involved in a gang or committing crimes. Quote, I make music. The DA's office says felony murder allegations against YFN Lucci and some others in the Rico case involve a homicide for which Lucci's already been released.
Racketeering charges, gang shit related, murder, all this crazy shit is like, you a whole rapper, you know what I mean? And I don't know how successful he is. Like I said, I never heard, you know, I'm not familiar with his work. But it's like, damn it, man! It's a movie. I don't know the name of it. I never seen it, but it's inside the Juice movie with Tupac and, you know what I mean, famous iconic hood movie. I think they was at Raheem house still, and they was in there cutting school or whatever. And it's a part, and they switched and they cut the camera to Tupac, and he's like, yo, this is the part right here, y'all. And inside the movie, the black and white movie, it looked like they're in a warehouse or something. If anybody know the name of the movie, drop it in the comments. Let me know. You know what I mean? The white dude, the bad guy, whatever. I'm assuming he's the bad guy. He like at the top of something, like I said, look like a warehouse or something. And the shit is burning up and all that. And he like, Mom, made it to the top of the world. And then shit, the movie go off, but it looked like the shit blow up and all that. And it's like a blaze of glory, like going out in a blaze of glory. And Pac like, if that's how you got to go out, that's how you go out. Like, you know what I mean? And he got real passionate. And, you know, this is the part of the movie where they start having a debate like, Raheem, I mean, he like, that's how you go out, losing or whatever. And he was like, yeah, you take them out whenever they say you take them out. And, you know, that whole spiel and shit. You know what I mean? And it's like, I'm mentioning this to say that certain one of us, like individuals, you know what I mean, that make it out the hood or, you know, for lack of a better term, they get successful. They have some success. In the, you know, whether it's music, whether it's basketball or whatever, we make it out or we about to make it out. We got a foot out and the foot in, but we trying to get out. Then we do some crazy shit and then lose it all. And it's like, for what? Like, you do all this hard work just to get it snatched away in the blink of an eye. Like when Thanos, you know what I mean? Like, you should have went for the head. Should have went for the head, because now it's over. And it's like, damn it, man. Like, going to the feds, racketeering charges, murder charges, whole bunch of, you know, gang charges, and it all ties in, because these 18 dudes, gang, and this rapper dude, gang, NBA young boy, never broke again, might never be free again. You know what I mean? Like Casanova, Ab, you know, AR Ab, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. Like Erykah Badu, on and on and on. Yeah, like that part. And then again, you see the people that didn't make it out, like the people I just named. You know what I mean? I was on that panel. They was knee deep, heavy shakers. Everybody vouch and recognize, you know, the role that they played out here, whether good or bad. Because I'm not saying what they did was good. What I'm saying, they did what they did. They held it down, went to jail, went to prison, came back. You know what I mean? All praises due. They made it, they survived, and now they sitting, you know, on these platforms like me, you know what I mean, saying, yo, don't do that. That's the wrong way. You want to be locked up for 30 years on your conscience? Yeah, you may come home at 48, 52 if you get locked up at 20. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, but what kind of life is that? Is that what you really want? Are you built for that? Because some people are not. Some people don't make it home. Some people get knifed up and left, you know, now it says some few try to take it. Some found dead, lying in jail cells naked. Like, yeah, heaven to hell, you know what I mean? Like, you hung yourself because you couldn't take it. You couldn't take living in that reality every day, waking up to that. And a lot of people is not built for it. You know what I mean? I told y'all in the other video I did, like, at one of my lowest points, I thought about doing that. You know what I mean? And I didn't. But yeah, when you got to face that reality, those are the real realities. The crying, you know what I mean? No mail and, you know, police running shit. And you just a guest there, even though you there for life. You know what I mean? I never understood that part where people let police do whatever they want to them and they had the L on the back. I never understood that part. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? So the point is, you know, on this channel, hip-hop, motivation, interviews, Popovisms 101 is like, stay in your lane. Don't be a follower if you can. Make wiser choices. When you know better, you do better. And again, the people that you're trying to impress or you think you setting your own trail and your own legacy of destruction, people that already been there and done that way better than you, you know, for what that's worth. More thorough than you is what I'm saying. You're not built like some of the people who I just mentioned. You know what I mean? They even saying like, shit's not worth it. Wish I never would have did. I mean, I wish I would have did things differently. So then who the hell are you? So, you know what I mean? Like, you think you're going to top what they did? You're going to get more time than they did. And unlike them, you might not come home. Something to think about. You know what I mean? Something to ponder for those that, you know, think shooting in the street at innocent people or trying to, you know, you scared to get up on a person and you out there just doing the most, giving orders. Like you John Gotti, you ain't making no money for the shit that you giving orders for. You just getting people touched or, you know, doing shit for no reason. Because you ain't getting no money off it, you know what I mean? A lot of times there don't be no bread, you know what I mean? So what are you really doing it for? Props and fame to put it on the gram, piss on the grave and shit like that. And it's the last thing I'll say because I never looked at it like this. Like I said, I caught the end and I'm going to go back and definitely watch the whole, you know, show. I'm not sure how long they was on, but I caught the end. It was a caller that called up. And he worked out there in, I think, Chicago or D.C., working with the kids. And he was like, when you use these terms, the ops and all that, these is words that shouldn't be used, even though a lot of gang and people, even regular people is using it. Those is the ops. Those is the ops. Nah, bro, they not the ops. You know what I'm saying? Ops is military terminology. You know what I'm saying? And I never looked at it like that because I'm not a part of that shit. So I don't run around calling anybody ops. I never used that word. I'm using it now. And I know I may repeat it plainly, but I'm not running around ops because I don't have any ops. You know what I'm saying? But when he was explaining what he was explaining, he was in the military. And he was saying these is military words. These is codes and words. And, you know, words have power when you put power, you know, to it. And it's like, damn, this just really just a dude from your block. And you had a disagreement. And you pulling out, catching the body to a person who you think is your op. And they not your ops. They not your ops. And then and I'll end with this, because this just happened recently within my own personal, space. Family members, when you argue with your brother, or your sister, or your cousin, whoever. We can have disagreements and then still be family. Everything is not because you disagree and we had an argument. Now we ain't family no more. We gotta never speak. I'ma block you. I'ma do this. I'ma do that. Take it to the extreme. Just because you had a disagreement. We gotta learn how to disagree or agree to disagree. Set boundaries. Keep it respectful and keep it pushing. You know what I mean? Like, you don't gotta, shut everything down and never speak to nobody ever, ever, ever again. Just because you had a disagreement. Just because they may have violated in a small sense. And then you return the favor and now it's a spat or it's a little beef. It's a little beef, you know what I mean? Beef is, Beef is when you ain't safe up in the streets. Beef is when you roll more, you know what I mean? Like, ICU, guaranteed to be in ICU. Sometimes, most of the times, it's not that serious. But in the gang culture, I guess, if you from another gang or you from a rival crew, you the ops. And so you out here taking chances of killing innocent people, getting yourself killed, killing somebody, but then going to do 25 to life. So is it really worth it? If you do get to kill an op, but you get caught, is it worth it? You got the props of the body. Like, you know what I mean? You going to jail, but niggas don't give a fuck about that. You catching the body. They don't. When you on that line for that yakisobe, ooh, and that 4 slices of bread and butter, and that watered ass down, nasty ass Kool-Aid that if you pour it on the ground, that shit stain the whole ground and stay there forever. Ooh, you don't want no parts of that. You don't want no problems. You don't want to go online and get that chili con con with that little slice of cornbread. No, I'm telling you, you don't want that shit. Because when you get in there, you're not going to want it. You're going to eat bread and you're going to rather eat peanut butter and a fucking Roman noodle soup than to go eat some of that shit in the mess hall. And God forbid you ain't got nobody on that bat line that can send you no money. You think you tough out here? You think you got it tough out here now? Bro, when you get in there, damn it, man. That feeling, I know what it's like to lose, to feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail. Like, trust me, many of tough guys and nights, you may not hear them crying, but inside, that music is playing and damn it, they thinking like, damn, I fucked up big time. So it was just a word to the wise. I made mistakes. We all do. You got to live and you learn and, take it from there. So, again, it's your boy Popovich. You now tuned in. Popovich TV. We live, we rolling, we unscripted. That's a fact. We authentic. That's for sure. That feeling back up in here one more again. Yeah, kid.